With Monster Hunter World just around the corner, how could we stop at just 10? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down another top 10 Monster Hunter monsters. For more gaming videos, check out our new spin-off channel, Mojo Plays, for in-depth reviews, thoughtful video essays, detailed character origins, and insightful commentary. Mojo Plays, games smarter. As in our first list, we'll be focusing on the base versions of monsters, so no deviants or other variants of the base monster types. Before we begin, be sure to watch our video on the top 10 Monster Hunter monsters to see some of our other favorite beasts. Number 10, Malfestio. This colorful owl wyvern might not be as ferocious as some of the other monsters on this list, but it can be just as dangerous. This foe can confuse hunters with a single display of its yellow scales, disorienting those around it, and the Malfestio is also capable of producing an ultrasound cry that puts those who challenge it to sleep. This monster gets points for its unique design and looking incredibly slick while it's fighting. This isn't some brutish beast, it's a sleek and talented killer that is as dangerous as it is beautiful. Number 9, Tetsucabra. It's the angriest amphibian you've ever seen. This frog-like monster uses its enormous tusks to gore its opponents or shovel up dirt boulders from the earth to lob at its victims. The Tetsucabra can also spit out green globs from its mouth that slows the hunters and affects their stamina. Talk about gross. Its frenzied style of attacking means every hunter needs to watch out or be struck by its fangs, and when it rages, you just don't want to be around. But prepared hunters take note. This creature's tusks can be broken off, making the fight a bit easier, and scoring you some sweet loot. Number 8, Shen Gaoren. A giant hermit crab that uses the skull of a dragon as its shell. This is one strange and terrifying monster. A callback to the legendary Lao Shan Lung. The skull of that dragon adorns this monstrous crab, and the fight happens much in the same way. The Shen is not very interested in fighting hunters, but the hunter still must stop the crustacean from destroying the walls of the fortress. This behemoth is much harder to take down than other monsters, requiring the use of special artillery and fortress defenses in order to kill. Number 7, Nibelsnarf. Don't let this creature's name fool you, it's pretty deadly and should be approached with utmost caution. This leviathan can burrow through the sand and basically swim in it. It's totally mastered its environment, able to dig below a hunter and then burst forth unexpectedly. From its wide gaping mouth, it can also expel sand and debris, creating a wind tunnel that can mess up even the most prepared of hunters. When its large mouth opens, hunters can take the opportunity to strike at its weak points, and especially clever hunters can even trick the Nibelsnarf into swallowing carefully placed bombs. That's sure to be a meal this guy won't forget. Number 6, Khezu. This blind, pale wyvern isn't pretty to look at, and it offers a hard fight to anyone foolhardy enough to try to hunt it down. Found primarily in caves and able to track down prey with its incredible sense of smell, the Khezu shares the same aesthetic as a naked mole rat, able to cling to cave ceilings with suction-like feet and devour their prey with their elongated necks. The Khezu can also paralyze foes with its powerful electrical shocks. As if this creature wasn't scary enough, Khezu apparently reproduce by paralyzing other creatures and injecting their young children inside. The baby Khezu then eat their way out, or wait until the creature they live inside dies. Well, have fun sleeping tonight. Number 5, Gammoth. This enormous beast looks like a woolly mammoth on steroids and hits like one too. Able to breathe out ice from its huge trunk, or encase parts of its body in thick snow to protect against attacks, this monster can take a lot of damage before showing any signs of being hurt. The Gammoth is also incredibly hostile, despite being an herbivore, and it can be hard to fight due to its sheer size. Getting too close can just blind you to its next attack. Careful that you don't just get trampled or frozen by this big guy. Number 4, Glavenus. What's cooler than a T-Rex? Well, how about a T-Rex with a big flaming axe for a tail? The Glavenus is a horned, brute wyvern that looks like your typical dinosaur, except for its fiery tail and its habit of spitting out fireballs. But technically we don't know what dinosaurs could spit, so maybe they could spit fireballs too. The tail should not be trifled with, because one swipe can mean the end of a slow hunter. Glavenus has given many hunters a difficult time learning its moveset and figuring out just how to deal with that flaming tail. This is a tough fight, but finally defeating the beast is sure to give anyone an exhilarating rush. Number 3. Astalos. This electric wyvern just looks too cool to not be included on this list. Its wings resemble those of a dragonfly, and the pincers on its tail look eerily similar to those of an earwig. Top that off with the green coloring on its black scales, and you got yourself an electrifying monster. Speaking of which, beware of its electrical charge, which it can release from nearly any part of its body to paralyze its foes, giving it an easy opportunity to then devour its prey. Definitely one of the best new monster designs. The Astalos is as terrifying as it looks. Number 2. Ketchawacha. Playful and curious, this lemur-like monster is nonetheless a terror to face in battle. Able to glide like a flying squirrel and shoot out globs of mucus to damage foes, this excitable monster can pose a challenge to even the most experienced of hunters. But we can't help but find this monster kinda cute. You know, the way it covers its eyes with its ears. To make it appear more intimidating to foes, or the way this little monkey is introduced at first, makes us kinda wanna catch a Ketchawacha as a pet, which would probably be a pretty big mistake. Nah, we'll just make it into a hat instead. Number 1. Zamtrios. There is perhaps nothing more horrifying than a monstrous shark that can move on land. This dangerous beast is capable of covering itself in icy armor that makes it look even scarier, and also, of course, protects its body from attack. When in real danger though, it can inflate itself to enormous proportions to become a big ball of shark fat that just crushes and rolls over opponents. It can look a bit silly, but its design is so cool and sleek beyond that it would be a crime not to include the Zamtrios on our list. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great